guys. Welcome to the Ready, Set, Blow podcast, episode 135, Chase?
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know anymore.
We don't even know.
I know, coming to you from sunny Albany, New York.
Episode 135.
That's right. And we finally got him, folks.
We got
Mr.
him.
Jeff Stott, we caught him.
I'm in here.
Long overdue.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty easy.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
What's
I
up,
love
everybody?
what you've done with the place.
Rearrange some furniture?
Yeah, I've watched your podcast numerous times, and it never looked like this.
We be filming my apartment in the fucking
Yeah,
bird's nest.
this is way different.
Well,
No bricks in the background.
Yeah.
if you think you should see my apartment,
Does it look like this?
Oh, absolutely not.
Are we in your apartment?
I would trade my fucking room for my whole apartment for this.
I love it.
I would live here instead of my whole apartment.
That's right. Thanks for doing this, bud.
Yeah, I love you guys. Of course I'll do it. It's
I know,
easy.
man.
It's easy.
You're the best.
Some baseball,
I
some
know we got some
comedy
baseball in
later.
the background. Oh, I can't wait.
It's gonna be the best.
We just saw some hoops, man.
I know.
You know, the shoulders are warm. I'm warm. My shoulders are like ready to go. I don't know.
Chase broke a sweat shooting free throws.
Oh my god. Was there ever a time you thought you were good at basketball?
I was always never that good.
Me too.
I'm surprisingly not athletic in like a team sports sense. Like I'm strong,
Yeah.
but I can't like I'm not like super. I got pull shit, push shit, drag shit, but I'm not like coordinated.
I watch. We did Top Golf together, and if you watch a video of him swinging a golf club, oh my! He looks like an ape. If you gave an ape a golf club and said, "Well, let's see what he does with it," you know, like that's Randy.
I swung it like a sledgehammer. It was.
And then he just like looks at the ball, just looking at it. It was very apish. In fact, I have a video of it. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, there's no smoothness to Randy's.
No, it's all torque.
That's fun, dude. We got to do Top Golf again. That's fun.
I'm doing Top Golf in Vegas.
When?
2 nights in Vegas, which is great. It's a weekend where I just get to play Top Golf, tell jokes for them, and then
What is
that's
Top
it.
Golf
And it's only 2 days.
Is it for Top Golf or is it at Top
Look at
Golf?
this. Look at this. Does that not look like an ape?
Oh,
Oh, we're throwing it like a fucking.
Look at him.
it's,
Just.
Randy's very proportioned.
Oh, he's strong as that.
Yeah.
Right after Randy threw that golf ball, he took a giant stick and started hitting trees to communicate to all of his friends. It's called knocking.
You just,
Oh,
you
little Bigfoot.
know what's funny? It's always been in my mind to kind of. I just couldn't get those words out the way you just said about Randy, but you just pretty much like described Randy. Oh, no.
He's like Coco the gorilla, you know, lovable, but just he's strong, man. You got to be careful.
Oh, I remember we were in Phoenix.
Crush something.
I know. We told us. I think he said us on the radio in Phoenix, that big radio station they got. Like, I was in the room. I wasn't on mic. I was just on the corner, and the guy was like,
yeah.
"Oh, what's his deal?" Like,
Sean
he's taking him out, and some shows or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jeff goes, "He's a real scumbag, but he's a sweetheart of a guy."
No, I said you're the perfect
Oh,
combination.
yeah.
You're the perfect combination of scumbag and sweetheart.
That's right. And I was like, Chase, I was like, Jeff, like my mom is like really into, like she's really supportive. She's
gonna
like, listen to this
listen
shit. And she goes, you don't think she knows exactly who you are?
Yeah,
It's like fair enough.
yeah, you're not hiding anything
It's
from
not
her.
a mystery.
She's like, he's right.
That's right. That's
He's
interesting. Actually, I think I read that on your mom's face a few times.
Yeah.
You know,
She's shaking her head.
She's like, it's
It's always the right amount of times, though. You know, like it's when you want you to be. It's great.
When you want me to be.
Yeah, it's late at night. It's we're going to a strip joint or something. We're going to have some drinks. You know, you want a little on or a little mischief.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I think how my parents think of me, and I'm just like, that they don't want to. They shouldn't really know the real me. Like
That is, my parents have no idea. Well, maybe they do.
How long into your comedy career before they came and saw you?
3 years or so, maybe like a couple of years. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really recall at all.
Were they supportive of it? 'Cause I mean, I've met your folks.
Yeah, they were like, so like when I was real young and I was like, I want to do college. They're like, you're gonna pay for it yourself, you know. Or I was like, I want to be a teacher. They're like, all right, we'll see how long that lasts. And then the second I was like, I want to do comedy. They're like, you'd be great at that. Like, which is like fascinating.
Oh, wow.
That was the one. They're like, no, that makes sense. There's no college for that, and you're good at it, and you'd actually, you know, this was interesting. It's weird.
What was the first thing you wanted to do, Chase, when you were a little kid? Like the first, like, oh, I want to be this. Because like throughout your life, it changes.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. Probably I would remember I wanted to be a professional basketball player.
First.
Okay. The dream.
I wanted to play in the NBA. That was my first thing because and then I probably came to the decision like I know I wasn't gonna make the NBA probably like my sophomore year in college.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so it took that long?
It took. I don't really.
Some people like it just comes to you like, oh yeah, this isn't gonna work out. You know, it's
I had
8th grade
hopes.
though. I still got some time.
I was trying to shoot from the ball. I was
Yeah,
trying
you
to
were like, no man, you don't give up. They told me we could be anything we want, and that I can't give up. So I'm not.
I'm serious, man. And then I was like, because I always like, I wasn't a tall guy, but when I played in college, then I was like, oh shit, there's like point guards that are 6'5".
Yeah, you have to be huge.
I'm like, skills can only get you so far.
I mean, unless
Like,
you're as fast as Muggsy Bogues, it didn't happen. Like,
Right, and I'd love to see a documentary about Muggsy Bogues. Like, how did that happen?
yeah.
He couldn't have been that
I
phenomenal,
mean, he
right?
was super athletic.
Was he just the
super athletic.
greatest ball handler of all time?
I mean, he was quick. He was quick as shit, dude. I just
So
remember him being so
crazy.
fast.
You couldn't trap him.
Yeah.
You just, he'd break your defense down. Had a little jump shot.
For people who don't know, Muggsy Bogues is 5'3".
Yeah.
And he was in the NBA.
For like over a decade.
It's insane.
Yeah.
There's just no reason a 5 foot. They'd be like, every day there are people like, get that baby off the court.
Yeah.
They're like, who's letting the baby play? That's ridiculous. This is not fair.
He kind of looked like a smaller Randy, like his body.
Oh, he was jacked, dude.
He's
He
just
was
calves,
yoked.
big calves, big
Yeah.
arms,
Allegedly, he could dunk a volleyball.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, Spud Webb won a dunk contest. He was 5'7",
Yeah, 5'7" is way different than 5'3".
4 inches.
There's girls that are 5'3", and you're like, you're tiny.
That's a good point.
And then he's playing in a league where the smallest guys are 6'4" and 6'3".
Yeah.
Well, I remember he went under Manute Bol's legs, like
Oh, really?
At one point,
They played on the same team together, and that was a big gimmick, too.
Bullets.
Yeah.
They were just like, let's get the tallest guy and the smallest guy.
Well, I loved that Charlotte Hornets team with Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson, and Muggsy was on that team. That was
Muggsy was the point guard, yeah.
That was a great squad.
That team was so underrated. That was my favorite NBA Jam team. And people always go, how did you not pick the Sonics? Well, I grew up in Seattle, and so everybody wanted to be the Sonics, so we'd have like a video game rule.
yeah,
Nobody can be the Sonics, nobody can be the Mariners. Because otherwise we'd just have arguments. So we'd have to pick other teams to be, and I would always pick the Charlotte Hornets.
That's pretty cool. The one thing that always bugged me about those old NBA games is that they didn't have Jordan in it.
I know, it's
It's
not
like,
fair.
what the fuck, man? Like, that's like, of course you want to play with
It's
the
not fair. Jordan butt screwed all of us out of
How did he
being
do
him.
that? How did he do because every other player like the league signs the contract to get the fucking video game. Like how did he he was so powerful? He's like, yeah, just take me out. Like I don't want to be in it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how it works.
Like somehow the rules just didn't apply to him.
Well, I think, I don't know, maybe he trademarked his name or something. I don't know.
Why didn't the other guys do that?
I know.
Was Jordan was
LeBron's
Jordan
in
the
all
only
those games.
genius? Jordan's like, I ain't doing it.
Well, there's a great documentary of how he, a great documentary with about Sonny Vicario, ESPN 30 for 30. Sonny Vicario was a huge, kind of middleman to get sponsorships for high school players and college players.
Yeah, he was like a booster that became a Nike recruiter, kind of.
Okay.
He's like a bag man, basically. He somehow got all these players their contracts and got them onto the right teams and shit. Like he's one of these guys.
Yeah.
You know, which is funny that's like a job. Like you're not allowed to pay players, but then that guy has a job specifically to fucking.
There's always
to
all these
pay
loophole things, man. It's so crazy. Like, it'd be illegal for us to do it. Why don't we hire this guy to do it?
Oh yeah,
That's not fair.
dude, it's like the Girl Scout cookies in the mall.
Oh my gosh.
Just using cute little girls to make money for some other fucking corporation.
It's so silly. Well, unless they show me those numbers that they're like, 100% of this money goes back to the.
Oh, yeah.
Which I can't believe that it would.
No way.
Yeah, they're like, well, we got to cover costs for the cookies, and what is that? A penny per box?
And it's like those school fundraisers where they make you sell shit. You ever have to do? You went to public school, right?
Yeah, I went to public school. We didn't do none of that.
Oh really?
I didn't. I mean, the school did.
Oh yeah.
I'm not doing this crap.
Were you a Boy Scout at any point?
No, man. Well, for like a second, and then I remember I was probably in there for like a few meetings, and then I was like, I don't want to do this crap anymore. My dad's like, well, I don't want to drive you anymore, so this is perfect.
It all worked out.
Yeah, it's like there was not a lot of activity when I was young.
I think for my mom, it was. I went to one meeting because all the kids in my classes wanted to be a Boy Scout. I took my mom to the meeting, and we got in the car. She's like, "You're not joining that."
Oh, really? She saw it through the shit. You know?
yeah,
She's like, this is a cult.
Yeah, she's
I didn't
I'm not
join
paying
the-
all this money for
Yeah.
you to do this.
And you're like, but how am I going to make friends? She's like, don't worry about it.
oh, yeah, they didn't care about me having friends at all.
I didn't join many of those team sports and shit. Like I did some YMCA basketball, and I think I did karate for a few years.
Karate.
For like a year and a half. got my yellow belt.
I think Kempo for a year.
and then fucking took off.
Karate.
Karate.
That's got to be the worst.
Dude, yeah, like in a YMCA, it's like, you know, doing fucking front kicks and shit. Like, and it doesn't work. I mean, obviously, there's no one in those karate matches in MMA, they get fucked up.
Yeah. They just teach you to count to 20 in Asian and then do like
that's exactly what it
do
is.
like a little dance
Ich,
number.
ni, san, chi, go.
Yeah.
That's up to, I don't remember going up to 10, but that was up to
Here's your
7.
certificate.
Exactly.
I thought I was going to learn how to like fight people and get some nunchucks.
Fuck some people. Nunchucks.
And turns out I'm just doing a little like kind of choreographed dance and counting to 20 in a language I'll never speak. I've been a tangerine belt for 7 years. How's this? What is happening?
Tangerine belt?
I thought I was going to be like throwing people over my hips in school. The
choke
kids
a
would be like,
motherfucker.
nice shirt, you little bitch. And then I'd just crush them, like steal their heart like out of their chest on Mortal Kombat. But nothing.
You may like this. I took Kempo for like a couple years. My brother took like a
Kempo's one with the sticks, right? They're like sword fighting and shit.
No. It would just like kick it in.
Okay.
I don't know something.
It's called Kembo.
Kempo.
Kempo with a K.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, Kempo.
And it's real.
It's real. Yeah, it's like it's really low grade.
It's a thing.
I don't like when people mess with me, you know? They're like, I bet Jeff won't challenge this. I did a thing called kadee-to-do. And they're like, what?
Jeff's dumb, he'll believe it.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, how do you pronounce it?
Well, this is the best part about it. Like my sensei at the time, who was like I don't know, he just was like a regular cat. But he would host SummerSlam and like WrestleMania at the thing. So we would pay like $20 or $10 at the time to see this. I saw like my first Survivor Series like
Nice.
in a thing like, and I was like, this is great. We're all like watching this together.
Way better than the Kempo. Is it just a wrestling parties?
It seems like it was, man. We were having.
Turns out I do Kempo.
I was like,
I had no idea.
And then my dad caught on to it too. I was like, is this guy just having this like this school just to get money like
Yeah,
from
he's
other
just
ways?
lonely.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Just wants people to hang out with him.
Tangerine belts.
Little boys.
Hey, you kids like wrestling? Me too. Let's have a big party here.
Dude, what was weird about the karate thing that I went to? I remember there were like grown men in it and then 8-year-olds in the same class.
Oh, really?
What the fuck? Yeah, I remember one dude was like 24, and he had moved into my neighborhood from somewhere else, from like Chicago or something like that. He's like, oh, I've been doing karate over there, and so he had like a sit down with the sensei.
Really?
And he's like, all right, we'll start you out as a whatever, a fucking yellow belt. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
That's kind of like the NBA too, I guess. Karate would be like the NBA, where it's like I'd be better than all the 8-year-olds. I'm a freaking giant.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just crushing these kids. They're in the same class, but I'm just kicking them in the
You
chest.
just throw a leg sweep on a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I'll take 3 at once. Power bombing kids. They're like, he should get a higher belt.
Yeah, I don't take it easy on him. Just
Give
'cause he's
that
young, I don't
big
take it
one a
easy.
higher belt. He's a
He's a bigger man.
It has to be fun for a person to like know that they're so dominant and they're just dominating people, right?
oh yeah. Imagine being Shaq. I'd just crush people all day.
And still just be like, I don't care.
Yeah, do whatever you. I'm allowed to do anything I want. In fact, if the cops come, I'll fight them.
Yeah.
And if they win, they're not gonna have cuffs big enough for I'm a giant.
What would like let's say if you're an off-duty cop and Shaq does some fucked up shit, like what are you gonna do?
Turn a blind eye. That's what you do. You let them have it.
Oh, well, there was one of the Vikings offensive linemen, some guy who was like 6'8", who went ballistic at a bar, and it was like, it took 5 cops to subdue him. I was like, oh my
That's
God.
insane.
Gotta pile onto him, fucking pig pile.
I would wish I was that big all the time.
You're not that far off.
I would. You know what? Actually, I would.
It'd be awkward, dude.
Yeah, it would be weird.
Any taller than you are, I feel like life gets annoying because it's like normal size. Like most things are built for normal size people.
Yeah. I don't know. Just would be cool to just like for a day, just go around
Just to be a
crushing
monster.
shit, just pushing people's heads down.
Well, it's like the UFC fighters, dude. Those guys walk around. They must know they could snatch the life out of anyone that approaches them, with the exception of like a handful of other pro fighters.
Right.
Like if
Well, that's why I used to
they could just kill anyone. Like, literally put you to sleep and do whatever they want with your
Yeah.
body. Like,
Well, that's the thing. Mike Tyson. I've told you guys this before, but Mike Tyson was he got beat up when he was really little. Right? I don't know if you know the story. He got beat up when he was little because a guy ripped a head off of his pigeon, and he like just lost it on this kid and beat him up. This old bully, right? Or this big bully. And then he was like, from that day on, he's like, I'm never going to take shit from no one ever again. No matter what it is, I'll fight. If
Yeah.
I lose money, if I get sued, no matter what it is, I'll never let anyone make me feel like that again. So I'm just I'll always whatever. And he's like, and he said this in an HBO documentary. He's like, listen, if you start shit with me at a casino, I'm going to mess you up. I don't care what it takes. I'm gonna make sure I never feel like that again. And he goes, you can get rich off me, but I'm going to knock you out. Like, and that's scary. So when you see Floyd Mayweather with his bodyguards, that's to keep Floyd Mayweather safe, from some crazies. When you see Mike Tyson with his bodyguards, that's to keep you safe from Mike. Like, how crazy is that?
That's pretty
Like,
accurate.
he will attack you, and they have to be like, Mike, please don't kill that guy.
Would you? Ah, man, that's crazy. Would you name a price? But like, do you think you could even take a punch from Mike Tyson in his prime?
No.
I feel like it would kill me.
Yeah, I don't-
You know, I would have like a brain hemorrhage and die.
Yeah,
like my bone structure.
I don't know if I'd live, but it wouldn't be worth it.
to drool for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy that at all. And that's my legacy. Oh, that's that guy, the guy right there in the wheelchair. He let Mike punch him. You're like, why? I don't know, some money involved, I guess. But
On a bet, on a dare.
It must be really, if you think about it, like how angry, like within yourself you have to be to house that particular like thing
that
all the
ferocity?
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I never see, like, you're like so positive. I don't think I can never see.
I don't
want
want to fight anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, when's the last fist fight you got in?
Never.
You never had one fist fight?
No, so I've never
Wow.
technically been in a fight, but I never had brothers. So when I left, when I moved in with like all these college dudes after high school, like these guys were all like seniors and juniors in college. Like
Which I love that story, by the way. You
big
basically
dudes.
lived the college life, but didn't actually
Yeah.
pay for it.
And but that movie Fight Club was real popular at the time.
Yeah.
So we started a fight club in our house.
Oh, no.
And I loved it. But we would beat the hell out of each other. My boss at one point would pull me aside. He's like, "Hey man, is everything okay at home?" Because he doesn't know anything about my life. He's just I'm some detail kid detailing cars. And I would come to work with like black eyes and like broken lips all the time. I'd be like spitting blood like into the trash cans and like something's going on with this kid.
Right.
And I would tell him like, "Nah, we just fight." At my house, like we love fighting. It's me and a bunch of dudes. We love fighting each other, and he's like, "All right," which that's breaking the rules of Fight Club, but we didn't. We told everyone
You
about
broke the
Fight
first
Club.
and then second rule of Fight Club.
Yeah, we told everyone about Fight Club, and it was super fun, and we would always fight each other, and it was the best times of my life. But I've never fought anybody I didn't love. Like I
but you
loved
have been
all
punched
those
in the
guys.
face.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it was brutal.
I feel like that's like a key thing for like to be a real man. You need to know. You need to be punched in the
yeah.
face at least once in your life. Like,
Absolutely.
there's consequences if I run my mouth or whatever. Like, you got to know consequences.
Yeah. I'm always like impressed by people who can control their anger. And
Oh yeah,
I am.
Chase is
'cause-
a temper, dude. I don't know if you
Oh,
know that.
really?
Chase
No, I
is a
didn't
sweet
know
guy,
that.
but Chase will fucking lose his mind, dude.
What's the last time you got like you were super pissed? Let's see if it was logical.
I think Randy was there actually.
Traffic.
Road rage has a problem for sure.
Okay.
Road rage. Yep. I don't know if that's the Boston guy in me. You know what I mean? But like,
Oh, he gets out of the car. Like I've seen him just stop, get out of the car, put it in park. Like, what?
See, I love that.
and then
It's just some lady like I'm bad at driving. I'm sorry.
that's what she's like. Yeah. Oh, she's the word.
Yeah, if you beat the horn and Chase, you're putting your life in jeopardy. I swear to God, dude.
That is
You're fucking
great.
in jeopardy, dude.
I'm pretty tempered. I'm very calm for the most part, but I just don't like people fucking with me like to the point
Yeah.
where I don't know. I'm getting better, but there was a time where like
Oh.
Randy was like with me one time and like some comic. When I was doing on stage and like
It
some
was an
heckler.
open mic. Yeah, so you want to tell it? Or you want to tell it?
No, you go ahead. Because
'Cause I
I'm
was-
getting mad right now.
He's like, sure, he's gonna get wound up
You're gonna
just
wound up.
telling it.
So there was this open micer. No, he's not an open micer now, but he was like starting out. Who went on, late open mic, just fucking around
My
trying to
man
ship.
Caleb.
No. Oh my God, dude! You know he's gonna.
Was it my man Caleb? Shout out to Caleb. I love that guy.
Caleb,
Caleb is a legend.
legend.
Freshest backpack in the game.
That's right. So now this kid Alex, good kid, but he was like up there working out. And this drunk guy came in, black dude came in with another guy, and he's giving him shit, like, and rattling the kid because he's a younger guy. 'Cause this kid Alex, he just got graduated from college. So Chase goes up after him and starts talking to the guy and gives him a little time. All right,
The kid or the older guy?
The older guy. So,
Oh,
so
okay.
Alex gets off, Chase gets on. So he did a little crowd work with him to settle him down. He settles down for a minute, and then Chase starts going into his material, and then he starts talking again. Chase's like, "Hey man, I talked to you before. I gave you your time. We rapped a little bit part of my
Yeah,
set.
but
Let me
now
finish
it's
off,
time,
right?
yeah.
You're talking about the other guy, the open mic. You're giving him a hard time. Can you settle down?" The guy starts. A minute later, the guy starts again. Chase just jumps off the stage and fucking slaps him in the face.
That's amazing.
And just mushed him into a fucking booth. Dude, the fucking host of the show panicked. I started dying laughing.
Do you know how frustrating it is that that's not on film?
I know. I wish I whipped that.
You would already have
Yeah, dude, you might be famous.
so much money from YouTube clips.
Just get-
And you would have so much, at least a couple hundred people that would follow you on Instagram. Like, that's that comic that just, told the heckler to shut up, shut his
Dude,
mouth.
the guy, both his feet were in the air. Like, Chase upended him, dude. It was so funny.
So there's a bunch of videos online of, one guy it's an open mic. It's a crappy open mic, like in some bar. You see it and you go, "That's a brutal gig."
Yeah.
Clearly, all the people that are listening are other comics, and you'd only know that if you're a comedian. If you're just watching the video, you're not a person. You think, "Oh, there's at least 25 people." They're all comics waiting for their turn. That's all this is.
Sure.
And this one guy starts yelling, and he's obviously got some sort of problem. He's like, and the guy that's the comedian's like, "Shut up! No one likes you. That's why you don't have any friends." And he's only saying that because he knows this open micer is an annoying guy. Finally, the guy charges at the stage when he says he doesn't have any friends, and the comedian kicks him in the chest perfectly, and the guy falls back down. That video has like 70 million hits. And it's just a comedian who's being kind of a dick to like a mentally challenged guy and then kicks him in the chest. So like
Randy, what the fuck?
a heckler
I
like
didn't know you could do that.
actually like earned it, like had it coming.
Yeah, had it coming, yeah.
Oh, that's
'cause
so
you usually-
what a missed
I'm pretty-
opportunity.
Yeah, because I think I'm pretty good at like controlling like situations.
I mean,
like,
you just snapped, dude. You move quick. I was, what the fuck?
quick,
You just
yeah.
jumped off the stage and hit the guy.
Yeah,
That's so
because at
good.
that point now you're just being a dick.
I love that.
You're just being a dick. But I don't. I'm a better man today though.
Oh, my God.
I'm a better man.
What do you mean a better man? You smacked a guy that deserved it.
Yeah.
You think I'm disagreeing with it?
Well, the thing is, no, that's why I like you because like it's weird because like there was another time I had a situation with like another person.
Oh, yeah.
And then like I just don't like people taking advantage of like weak like just. Don't be
Yeah.
a bully, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just because I'm small, don't mean
He's being a dick.
Yeah, like, but there's people that will make me feel bad. They'll be like, "Well, you should be the bigger person. Like, don't be
No.
that guy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What is it? Should I defend
Well, I
myself?
remember
Not defend myself?"
I remember you
that's
talking about that.
nonsense.
What really bothered you was like, yeah, you give like the young guy a hard time. He's like, I can deal with this guy, but that kid, like, it was like
Yeah.
3 months in. He's like, give him a fucking like,
Well,
give him a
but
break,
I
dude.
think
Like,
it's checks and balances. You know,
Yeah.
it's like so. I'm very sympathetic. Here's a weird example, but there's a guy he's at a Cardinals game, let's say, and he drinks too much, and he gets an idea in his brain like, wouldn't it be funny to run on the field? And then everybody's like, you know how we are. We're dumb guys. We're like, yeah,
Right.
you should do that. I'll film
totally,
it.
yeah,
You're
totally,
just
yeah.
arsonist at
Let's
the
see if he'll
fire.
do it,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. So.
Yeah.
And finally, the guy works up the nerve. This is also a fake story. It's fictional. I'm making it up in my head. But, like, let's say he goes out there and we're filming it. What happens is 7 security guards are so excited that a guy
fucking-
ran on the
yeah.
field. And now it's their moment to just run down and spear him and put their... And I feel sympathy for that guy.
Yeah.
You pumped alcohol down his throat all game at, like, fucking $10 a whack.
Yeah.
And now you're excited that you get to, like, assault a guy who ran on... Just go get him. Just
Yeah.
go grab him. Take him on the field, do whatever you got to do, press charges, but you don't get to assault that guy.
yeah, there's somebody out there just waiting to lay
He's
the
just
wood.
having a good time. He's silly, and they always come up with these hypotheticals. Well, what if he had a knife? Or most of them are naked. They don't. You can see they don't got nothing, or they're like a dumb teenager.
What if he hurts a player? Like on a football game, those guys will fucking kill him.
Yeah,
Like,
nobody. It's just these weird hypotheticals. We're like, well, they have to. No, it's unfair, and I have sympathy towards that guy. Now, in your scenario, that guy got the worst end of the deal, but I have sympathy for you because he's messing with you.
Yeah.
So it's like. I think it's pretty easy to figure out who has it coming and deserves it. Like
Yeah.
I think in that situation,
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
No, thank you. You make me feel a lot better.
Yeah,
about
Because
your
I was.
activity.
I'm
No, that
just,
guy sucks. He deserves it.
yeah, I'm just like because
He probably went home that night going, fuck, man.
Felt stupid.
Think that was gonna happen.
He never came to that mic again.
Oh,
that's for
Chase was,
sure,
yeah,
you know?
Chase was fuming.
That's
Like
so
15
good.
minutes, Chase is outside just smoking cigarettes. I'm gonna kill that motherfucker.
I love
like
it.
Chase, it's over.
I was briefly telling you about my boy Cato last night. This reminds me like of a Cato moment. Cato's like that. He's judged very harshly, like, oh, you shouldn't be like that. You should do that. But Cato's most of the time right.
Yeah.
He's this guy. He's Brant Tobler's cousin.
Okay.
And he's the best. He's this little. He's not little, but he's
Everyone's little.
shorter than me. Yeah. But Cato is a legend, dude. He's just so tough and so cool and so nice, and he's a sweetheart. But if people get out of line, like Cato's, like if
loses
straight up,
mind.
like if we were just hanging out here and then somebody like wronged you or me, like Cato would be on it. There's no hesitation. He's just like,
waiting for it.
For example, we're at the
like those guys.
Stand Up Live in Arizona.
Love that place.
And all we hear is someone comes in and goes, "Your cousin just got into a fight and he's being kicked out," and we're like, Cato. and he's like, it's on us because he's our guest and he's
Yeah.
our friend and stuff. So we're just in his mind, and then he's like pleading with Brandon. He's like, hey man, I'm sorry, dude. This dude was disrespecting the girl bartender, and I had to do what I had to do. And we didn't believe him. We're like, sure, Kato, like you're spinning this story like you're some hero. More likely, you just got into a scrape with some guy, and now you're trying to make it sound like you were being noble.
Is he one of those guys that'll like put his shoe out and wait for someone to step on it?
No,
like,
he's not that kind. No, not at all.
Like, I
He's just-
wish someone stepped on my shoe so I could get into
Kato's
a fight.
just down
Like,
for a good time, but
Okay.
then like, occasionally like something will happen. He's just
he
ready to
snaps.
go.
He's always coiled up.
But we go out and like hours later after the shows, we talk to the bartender girl, and she's like, "Your cousin was so sweet. Like a guy was like being a kind of a pig to me." So he was right. He wasn't lying.
he was right.
He literally
Yeah.
just some dude said something to the bartender that he didn't like. He told him to cool it or whatever, and the guy like tried to act all tough on him, and then Kato just knocked him out. But the best part of the story is that the guy, when Kato told him to calm down, the guy goes, "Where are you from?" And he stepped right this close to his face, and he goes, "I'm from right here and right now."
I fucking love Kato, bro.
That's the best
That's
line.
a great answer.
Yo,
He just knocked him out, and then he had to leave.
That's great.
Oh, it made me so happy.
We should have a Kato and Abel show.
yeah.
Cain and
Yeah,
Abel.
that'd be
Righting
great.
wrongs all over the world. Fucking
Cain and Abel.
Just short guys just smacking people up
Dude,
just in
he's
case they need it.
So good. But I always say, like,
Nah.
I imagine there's some times where there's been some fights where I'm like, no, that was definitely inappropriate. You got a tough guy, but like I usually listen to the story and go, oh, that guy deserved to be smacked for that.
Yeah. I was telling you like outside we were like shooting like. There's times you just got to pick your battles, man.
Yeah.
You just like, this is not the case. I was telling him about the fucking hotel thing where like I was like smoking weed like and I'm just like I'm not gonna.
So he used to work
killer.
at a hotel security.
Oh yeah, the podcast listeners know about how Chase got released from that job.
Oh, okay.
It's questionable.
I
It's
didn't know
allegedly.
that.
Allegedly.
But in my mind, I was like trying to learn because he was saying like, oh, like if somebody's smoking weed, like let's say I'm in this room and I'm
'cause
smoking
we're
weed. He
traveling.
said it's hard to figure out what room it's coming from.
Yeah.
So if I'm smoking weed and then they're calling the room and then they're knocking on the door and I'm just not answering or ignoring, you can get away with it.
Get away with it.
Really?
Because how are
Yeah.
they? What are they
Oh,
going to
yeah.
do? They can't enter the room.
Yeah.
Busting on you.
And you're not replying. You're just doing your own thing. Like they would have to just go. Maybe it's not this room.
Maybe it's
I don't
next
know."
to him. Yeah.
That's exactly what we did. Yeah, we can't just enter a room. There's got to be like some type of probable cause, like or if someone's in
or
harm
they could
when-
call the police, right? Though the police could come into the room.
They could, yeah.
Well, it depends on what state. right. I mean, I guess they can throw you out for any reason.
Well, to be honest with you, because it's private property, it's like
They can throw you out of it.
They can, yeah.
But you can't go to jail for it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, maybe there's always weird rules. But I was like, there was a situation where like we got a call, like people were smoking weed. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like we got to go upstairs and try to. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. Like this is not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Going door
the
to
whole
door.
floor smells like weed.
Especially if you're smoking a lot of it, then it's like, where the fuck is it coming
Well,
from?
and also think about it. If it's your job, how uncomfortable is it going to be to knock on doors
And interrupt
at
them.
a late night?
Yeah, what if people are fucking
waking up strangers and saying, "Hey, is it you that is doing drugs?" Now you're accusing
Yeah,
strangers
exactly. Customers.
at late at night. You're gonna have what 25 complaints for all the rooms who
Yeah.
didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly.
Dude, half of the times I wouldn't respond to noise complaints.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I
Because
know
he was asleep.
I was allegedly.
Allegedly.
We can't.
I know, we got to keep saying allegedly.
After the 24th, we can.
Oh, after this
Right.
resolved in the labor
Looks
courts.
like OJ. Yeah, allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Michael Jackson allegedly.
Yeah.
Well,
Chase allegedly fell asleep with his shoes off and belt off.
Allegedly, slowly just gonna turn into like, no, he did it.
Yeah, he did it.
Listen, until the 24th, I'll be able to disclose everything
Okay,
that
the
you want to know.
details- the details of this
I got a
shit?
hearing case going on, like a 20. With my previous employer.
Well, what happens? Either you'll get money or they will. How does it work?
I'll get money, and they will just not they won't get anything. They deny.
They pay money, yeah.
They pay
Oh, I
money
see.
out. Yeah. So
That's great.
yeah, so I'm waiting for that to happen.
You're gonna get some money.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
you will.
Oh God, do I need it?
These companies, they do that.
They fight
I
you
mean,
to-
it might be risky with the podcast. He comes in with like a chopped up clip of all the talking about it.
Nah.
I hope not.
You're small potatoes, man. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like the corporate, I won't say the name of the corporation, but that's a giant corporation, dude. Like,
Yeah,
just,
it's
like
easier
Jeff said,
for them to
it'd
just
be more
give you some
expensive to get a
money.
lawyer to fucking get involved in this
Yeah.
and just here's a few grand. Get the fuck
I
out of
always
here.
think about that with like the Vanderjack story, like that I straight up admitted to a crime like a week after I did it on television. And then everybody's like, why would you do that? It's like, well, I don't know. I just
I'm a fucking
Ari
idiot.
wanted me to tell it, and I was like, all right, let's do this.
Well, I was so serious about it, Jeff, that I actually called one of these 1-800-lawyer places,
Yeah.
like these local things that they
the
run those
ambulance chaser?
commercials. Yeah, and there was one guy. I was like, "Hey, man, do you mind helping me? I got this thing. It's pro bono. I don't have money, but
Yeah.
you can help me out." He's like, "Yeah, man, but just understand, like, I didn't renew my law license."
So you with some unofficial lawyer, just with some dude.
But he's like, "I can still represent you. They're not gonna find out."
oh, shady, dude.
And I was like, "Is this my cousin Vinny type shit?"
Right.
Yeah.
Also, like, no, I'll just call someone who does. It's so weird.
There's other 800 numbers in it.
You're not my friend.
I'll do you this
I'm not
favor,
like
bro.
helping you out. Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's like-
Hey, as long as you know up front, I'm not even legally allowed to do this. Then no.
I was like, "Why do you have a number like that's
Yeah.
published to the public? What
That's
is
like
this?"
I had an Uber driver driving to the airport the other day, and he goes, we were talking, and he goes, I'm a comedian too. And I was like, well, no, you're an Uber driver.
Oh, yeah, because you were like, he was like, oh, yeah, I did it twice at a fucking Elks Lodge or some shit.
over the last like few years, he's only gone up twice. And I was like, yeah, you're an Uber driver. You're not a comedian. You might identify as a comedian.
Right.
It's 2019, you can identify anything you want.
You're driving me to the airport
Oh, it's actually a good
at
question.
5 a.m. You're not.
Yeah, when do you actually use?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because I didn't call myself a comedian until you called me a comedian.
What would you, in your eyes, what's your Jeff Dye's theory on that? Like,
Well,
the threshold to
Jerry
be calling yourself
Seinfeld says it's the only profession where the second you do it, the first time you do it, they bring you to the stage as a comedian. Like even your first time, they go, "Your next comedian is," which is interesting because it's the only job where you're immediately the
I don't call
title.
myself a doctor when I went.
However, I think that you can call yourself a comedian right away. Like I don't give a shit about that Uber driver. He can call himself a comedian if he wants. It doesn't bother me. So I really say like, yeah, if you're just pursuing comedy, you're a comedian for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not that snobby about the title.
Yeah, you don't really think that deep into it, really.
Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
It wouldn't bother me if everyone who's gone on stage calls themselves as a comedian. I've had so many people in my life call themselves comedians who've never been on stage. They're like, "Well, I'm a comedian too." You're like, "No."
That's a little much.
I think that they're using it lightly. Like girls will be like, "Yeah, I'm a comedian too." You're like, "You're not a comedian."
Yeah, there's always like certain like thresholds that people like have listened to. Oh, it's the first 10 years, this
Yeah.
and that, like 10,000
I'm
hours.
Not, I'm not snobby about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you came up quick, right? You started headlining by 3 years in, right?
I was headlining like a year in.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, I was like,
Fuck,
yeah,
dude.
I was.
So you're saying I should just quit now?
No, not at all. It's just that.
Wow, year in, wow.
I also get very obsessed with things. So, like, that's another reason I stay single for so long. Because when I'm a boyfriend, I'm the best boyfriend. I'm taking him on trips. I'm waking him up with breakfast. I'm, like, giving him so much attention, affection, texting all day that my career dips and, like, my responsibilities dip, my hobbies dip, my exercise dips because I'm just trying to be this great boyfriend. So, when I first started comedy, that's all I would do. It's all I'd think about all morning. Oh, just coming up with this and blah, 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 and watching comics and writing things down. So, I'm successful at comedy because all I thought was writing and performing. That's the only thing I would think about. So I would sit at a coffee shop from morning till freaking like 5 or 6 and just come up with ideas and listen to things and try to whatever. And so I think that's the only reason. I was just like obsessed with it. Then I had tons of stage time.
Oh yeah.
Tons of stage
in
time.
Seattle's, yeah.
Well, the club that I worked at was called Giggles, and he would just let me. Well, and it's not like he would just let me because he liked me. I brought tons and tons of people to that comedy club, even when I was bad.
You bring all your buddies out.
I bring like
It's
60 people like on a Thursday to watch me
Fuck.
bomb.
How do you know that many people? Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I'm social, so like
yeah.
and I would lose jobs every 2 months. I'd have some
You
new
meet a
job.
whole new crew of workers. Yeah.
Couldn't keep a job to save my life, but I'm good at making friends. And then I like had my own youth group, and I ran Young Life, and
bring them
so
in.
I brought all these church people would come, and also I was like, it was very exciting for them. I was like, I'm doing comedy now, and people were like, what? We would love to come down. I was like, come on down. So, and I think the open mic was like free, or it was like $5 or something. So it was like super easy. I'd put it on my MySpace, and then like 40 people would come.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so that the owner was like, I'm making on a Thursday and a Sunday night, however many people come. Let's say Jeff brings 60 people. That's $5 a head. They all buy 2 drinks. That's all cash. And so he's like, this kid wants to do 30 minutes. Let him do 30. I don't care if he's funny or not. He gets the stage
ass
time.
and seats.
Yeah, I'm bringing money.
Yeah, year in. Wow, and then that was what 2000 when
That
you
was
started?
2005 is when I started, and then by 2006 I was doing like local like community colleges and stuff like that, and maybe it was about a year and a half before.
Wow, so almost 13 years.
Yeah. But don't confuse it. I wasn't good. There's a big difference. It's just like I was doing clean enough humor that I wasn't insulting anyone or offending anyone. And so places were like, book him, you know?
Do you remember your first bit?
That's a good question. The first bit I ever did was about white noise.
Oh, like white noise machines? Like,
You know those things?
Yeah.
Like, there was a movie that came out, and it was about how, like, it was like Michael Keaton, maybe? I don't remember. Somebody, like, they're sad that they lost their wife or their daughter or something. So they meet these crazy people who sit around and listen to white noise all day, and then they hear voices from the other side. And I was like, this is so stupid. Like, what do they think the other side is doing? Do you think demons and spirits are just like waiting for you to listen to static to communicate with you? Like a whole bit about that, and it was really bad and awful. And I was shouting, and I was like imitating the demons, and I was like also wearing shorts with no socks or shoes on stage.
what? What are you, fucking hippie?
What a weirdo!
I know, right?
I was just.
That's how you used to do it?
It makes no sense. I look back on it like, what was wrong with me?
I looked at
Did you think of that as a gimmick? Sorry, dude.
No.
Didn't mean to cut you off. But, okay.
No, I was just literally, I was at
That's
the
just how you
comedy
roll?
club. I think it was summertime, so like I rolled up like in basketball shorts and like flip flops. I was like, I'm doing comedy tonight, just casual. And then like, it wasn't nervous. There was no nerves in me. And they're like, next time it says Jeff Dye, and I was like, kick off my flip flops, like run up there. What's going on? Like, it was just like, I remember Ty Barnett. He was like, I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen someone so comfortable. They just get up there barefoot on. He couldn't believe it. And I remember thinking like, why does he give a shit? And then like years later, I was like, no, I can't believe. I would
No shorts
never
on
do
stage.
that.
You never did. I saw a I don't know what I pulled up a picture of you. Sometimes I look at pictures of you, Jeff. Like, I'm sorry.
I like that.
Chase is 100% heterosexual, but he has a real thing for pretty white guys.
That's it, man.
Oh, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. He
his
talks
Gabe
about us.
Kaplan.
Exactly. Exactly. For the listeners out there, Jeff has a giant man crush on Gabe Kapler.
Dude, Gabe Kaplan,
Red
best
Sox.
looking human of all time.
You think Gabe is? Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
it's
he's
insane.
Well,
There's
the
a couple
best is the
guys-
photo of him putting on his that suit jacket, and he just shredded through the jacket.
He looks ripped while wearing a suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I give you my top three?
Yeah.
Beautiful white men.
Yeah.
Aside from you excluding. For me, Tom. Tom's up there.
Tom Brady.
Yep. Tom.
Yeah, Tom's very handsome.
Robin Thicke.
Okay.
Robin
He's
Thicke.
a little too metrosexual for me, but all right. Like, he's a handsome guy, but he's every hair's in place. Every eyebrow is threaded, you know? All
right.
But yeah, I agree with you so far.
Yeah, and Julian Edelman. Those are my top three.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Two
that's...
Patriots.
Yeah, but that's good. We get good-looking guys,
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
There's a theory out there that that quarterbacks tend to be better looking because because they become better looking guys become quarterback because they're better looking. I was reading.
I've
this
heard
thing.
that, yeah.
It's like,
So this is
everyone
Gabe
likes a good looking
Kapler.
leader.
Gabe Kapler at age 43.
Oh, wow.
That's head coach of or he's the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Is he mixed?
I don't know. But, come on. That's a 43-year-old
Yeah, dude,
guy.
he's chiseled out of stone.
And it's funny, he's in the dugout with all these 20, 23-year-old MLB studs,
genes. Good
and he
genes.
looks better
That's what
than
I'm saying.
all of
They
them.
must be like, this guy the fucking manager steal all the pussy. Like, this is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he's just a rock star.
There was an article about him not too
He was
long
in the
ago.
Red Sox for a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah. There was a huge article about him, about how he takes care of his body and all that stuff. Yeah, that's another thing. Exercise too. That's another thing.
What about it?
That's a commitment that you
That
have to have.
you don't want to do anymore.
Well, there's a parallel with that with comedy. You know what I mean? Like it's like I equate it to people who work out all the time. They have a certain discipline. I think comedians share that particular
yeah.
thing.
Well,
too,
you're right.
you know?
Yeah, it has to be an everyday thing. Like, what's the longest you would go without performing?
The longest I've ever went without performing was when I was on Better Late Than Never. And it's because we were in foreign countries.
And they couldn't
we would
get a mic.
shoot from morning till night. So even if there was a show that I could have probably hopped on, it would have been for SPATs. It would have been some troops thing. And then it would have been I would have been able to go to it because
Yeah.
we would have been shooting. And we'd shoot at nights.
Did that you get fucking
So I didn't
withdrawals?
perform. Yeah, I didn't perform for probably 2 months, and then I would come back, and I was super excited, but I would find myself getting nervous. And I was like, I didn't even get nervous when I first started comedy. Why am I nervous now? And it wasn't nervous about the audience or thing. It was nervous about forgetting my jokes.
Okay.
I'd get up there and they'd be like, "What was it?
Yeah, am I going to start stammering? Well, you still
how did
write?
I
Just
go
go
from
again?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wrote a ton of stuff while I was over. Yeah, every morning. I write for about an hour a day, and
Wow.
that's gotten significantly worse when I'm on the road a lot because it's fun to just wake up and go do stuff,
And perform.
It's hard to I guess I still write things on my phone. I think things, and so I do that. But
We
I
do
like
that
to
shit all
sit
day.
down.
We're always rapping.
I was just thinking of one last night. Remember?
Oh yeah.
I was talking about this. We'll workshop it here. My life is great. I'm very happy, and I think about like, hey, but as a white guy, you can't get too comfortable.
Yeah.
Don't think you've got it set and it's all good, because every white guy is just one N-word away from losing it all. If I slip up and say it, even
Over.
like on the radio, or
If
like
I'm singing along with a Tupac song, I'm fucked.
Right, that's it. If I'm on stage and I'm like doing an impression of someone and that comes out, and then people film it, it's over. That's a wrap. Look at Roseanne. One racist tweet. It's over.
And she didn't even say the N-word.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She didn't even say the N-word.
It's over for Roseanne. Roseanne is being treated the same way like sex offenders
Yeah,
that
like a
literally
fucking leper.
raped like coworkers.
Yeah.
And that's Roseanne has had the same treatment. Like, oh, your career's gone. It's
Yeah.
over. You're done now.
There's some data that supports that for sure. I mean, there's Kramer. Justin Bieber said it. He's still good.
He said
He said it?
Yeah, he said it like when he was younger, doing a song in a studio or something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah. But it's
I know.
it's on.
There's a guy who gets a lot of shit that I think undeserved. It's like, yeah, he's
Bieber?
fucking, yeah. It's like,
Love
it's
Bieber.
like
Love
what
Bieber.
an asshole. It's like, well, yeah, if you hand me $150 million at 15, I'd be smoking weed on a private plane too. What the fuck is the
and
fuck is
also
the problem here?
anything that he's ever done, I did 100 times worse things when I was his age, and I wasn't a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like 100 times. Everything that he did, like one thing, I didn't know about the N-word thing, but I know that he like raced Lamborghinis down a road that he shut down. They shut off the road so that he could race Lamborghinis, and then he got in trouble for racing Lamborghinis. You're like, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would race a Lamborghini in this hotel room. I don't care. I would like.
Well, let me correct myself. The way he said it was in the context of he was calling someone. It was like more in terms of like there was a song being played and that word was in it.
and he sang
yeah,
it.
that's,
Oh my
which
gosh.
was like stupid. Whatever.
And then the
Snoop Dogg says it all the time.
he egged his neighbor's house.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
that's
high
fun.
school shit.
Yeah, I do that. I'll do that tonight if you'd like.
yeah.
And then what was the other ones that he got credit? Oh, he was in a foreign country and he bought a monkey, and then he tried to bring it with him on his on the plane. And so everyone's like, "You can't bring a monkey on a plane! What a moron!" Listen, he has a private plane.
Right.
He's got like 50 people that works for him. He probably thought like, "I bought a monkey.
Fuck it,
I'll
yeah.
have a monkey."
Yeah. Dude,
Michael Jackson had a whole zoo. Nobody
know,
thought
right?
it was weird.
Michael Jackson had kids in his home. Like, what the fuck?
And this kid, I'll buy a monkey. That'll be funny.
Dude,
And it wasn't like it was Delta Flight 14. Like it was.
And he released a wild monkey to fucking run around.
No,
with it.
he had a monkey on his private jet. That's all.
He's I always go to his concerts.
I would love to own a monkey, dude. The monkey videos on the internet are fucking the best.
Dude.
I'm not having a monkey. I'm not.
No?
Fuck that, dude. Are you crazy?
They jerk off and throw shit at each other. It's a pretty weird little
I
animal.
had a dream that someone threw shit at me.
A
last
monkey
night.
or a dog?
But
Or
I
a
think it's because
person?
we're watching all those monkey videos.
Oh,
I think
that's
that's
right.
probably why I had that dream. Just came back to me. But yeah, no, I'd want a monkey. That'd be fun. I just don't know if I don't know. That's a full-time thing, right?
Yeah.
You can't just leave it at your house.
It's not like a cat.
Is he
It's
gonna
not like a cat.
watch TV and stuff? And
I
like,
guess you could train. I'm sure you could train them a hell of a lot more than a dog.
right, to just
You know,
walk. And
so like
people leave their dogs at home all the time.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm African, and my family in Africa don't even have monkeys in their house.
You know how nervous.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
You know how nervous you'd be coming home if you haven't been home for like 12 hours. You're like, I should probably get home and feed the monkey.
Yeah, what the
And
fuck
then
you
just
think
like
you did?
open the door and you're just like, there's a monkey in here somewhere. Like,
Yeah,
that's
because
spooky.
they're such tricksters. They're fucking with you.
Yeah, it would
Like,
be
where
like,
is this
what if he's
motherfucker?
pissed off?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you've been gone for 16 hours.
He's in a mood, and
I'm
you can't-
starving. And you selfish bastard, you bought me and you put me in this place.
As soon as you come in, he's flinging dung at you. Like, what
yeah.
the fuck's going on?
Speaking of like someone like 16 hours, you're a person that always is like on the road and always like
Yeah,
like in
especially
different
lately.
cities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how do as you're like getting like I always want to ask you this like as you're because you're approaching almost 20 years in a few years,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it gets more and more funner. Like,
I love it. Yeah, we were talking.
Yeah.
I mean, last night we were just out drinking. I'm trying to think what until like 4:30. We had pizza
Yeah.
at 5, and it was great. And all the staff knows, and they all hang out and come. Like it's funny because I think sometimes maybe from someone else's perspective, like look at these guys, they're just out trying to get laid. It's like no, we're enjoying each other's company
Yeah.
and meeting
Yeah.
other people. Like that's what if somebody has sex, fantastic. But that's not what it is. That's not like the motive.
Yeah.
It's just fun to like not call it a night. I don't want to just
party,
go
yeah.
to the room and watch Netflix. I'd rather be out meeting people. And we must have met like 30 people last night.
Oh, yeah.
Minimum. And it was just cool. I just liked it. We're
playing
playing
Whitney Houston
music,
at a dive bar.
and just having fun, and people go, "Let's go to a different one." All right, we'll wander to that.
It's funny.
just- yeah.
I was talking to Randy about this, like we were just like headliners, like it's weird because like sometimes like headliners after you think after they do it for a while, they get into like a certain routine. They come and do their show, they leave, they don't want to like.
Yeah.
You're like we always say like you're different. Like,
You hear a
you're
lot of
about the
headliners
moment.
complain about it, like, "Oh, the road is getting tired." It's like that's the job. What the fuck are you talking
I know.
about?
I
Like,
think we just work in a negative business where people like they're complainers. You know, like so, like even as talented. I mean, you know, a lot of we all know the same guys, but like think about how talented they are. Let's use Donnell Rollins. Just so talented.
Yeah.
So funny. He's got bread. I mean, he's got bread. And he still seems like he doesn't want to be there. Like on stage,
Sometimes, yeah.
he's killing it, and he seems fun. And that's right. But then off stage, it seems like he's mad. I want to be like, hey, man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry we had to ride in the same car here.
there's
I
like
don't
a
know
rest-
what you're
there's-
upset with me
I-
about.
There's like a
Really?
there's like a restlessness. They're like, oh, like,
Yeah.
it's like what? Like this is we're doing it.
I get that.
You're
And
living
maybe-
the dream.
And also,
you know?
maybe he just hates me. That could be the answer. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know. I fucking love this
Yeah,
guy.
I
He's
have-
super funny. He seems like he's annoyed to have to go to work.
Oh really?
Like, this isn't a bad job. You're
Yeah.
getting paid heaps. People love you. I've never heard anyone that doesn't like you. What are you mad about?
Yeah, I never got that from D.
Oh, well, then maybe he just
he's
doesn't like me.
Well, you see, I mean,
I am a white guy.
he's-
I don't know if that's
he doesn't.
a famous thing to hate.
Every time we have shows with him, he's like after shows, he's always rocking and rolling. And
Oh, really?
I think before the show, he gets a little bit like
Yeah, he gets a little antsy.
a little antsy. Maybe we can prepare
really?
for shows. And I think once he starts going, and after, it's like, hey, let's all celebrate
Right.
together. But
Oh, that's great.
I still have a job to do. I have to. Be
I think it
prepared
also
for
helps
that.
that we put that show together well, because he hadn't been in Boston in years, and it's like, all right,
Right.
I'm sure a lot of fuck off managers. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, on the road, you could be good managers at clubs, could be annoying ones. Who knows?
Right.
You know.
But in general, we're in a business where people are
Yes, for sure.
negative
sure,
and they
yeah.
complain.
The sad
so
comic
their
is a thing.
instinct is to be like, oh, the flights and that, because that's just how people talk.
Yeah.
But I don't think like that. It's like the airport can be fun. There's all these things you can buy.
Yeah.
There's a coffee. There's food. And
You're
I don't know.
special, man. You're different,
You'll
man.
watch this. You can play Nintendo Switch. You could like watch
that ball off
Netflix.
shit and
Yeah,
annoy
you could
people.
throw a ball around. Like I just don't think like that. I think like, oh, it's gonna be great. We get to be in Albany. They're like, it's in a mall. I was like, love malls. Just like everything. I don't know.
You do understand you're a different type of cat, though.
But that's-
Your positive outlook. I think not so much towards comedy, but I think in life
Yeah.
is not shared amongst
I
comedians.
know. Well, and thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I think that means a lot to me. But also, like, why would you want to not live like that? That's my instinct. Is like, who wants to be grumpy?
Yeah, the philosophy of it.
I don't get. Yeah, I can't get my mind around that. And also, I think too, like, you are what you say. So like, if you like the power of like your suggestion, right? Like, if you say like things like, "No, I am happy, I am wealthy," you kind of like you breathe those into reality, right?
Yeah.
So if you believe that, not everyone does, then you also got to believe as a stand-up comedian when you say things like, "Oh, I'm fat," or "Oh, I'm broke," you're speaking that into reality. Even if it is a joke, self-deprecation is every night you're saying, "Oh man, nobody wants to have sex with me," and now the whole crowd is laughing. So it's kind of humiliating. It's not humiliating, but like you're ingraining that in your brain.
Yeah, you're like burying that path.
Yeah, you're sort of saying these negative things about you and then getting people to agree with it. And now like you're speaking that into reality. So it's like I always try to like come from a place of like, and I'm trying to work on it right now, like a bit will start negative and then I try to shift it into a different perspective. So instead of like getting mad at college kids who I had one bad show and I'm using this one show as like kind of all college kids. And instead of being negative to them, I want to start changing it to being like, I'm worried about college kids because of this. When it started as, I hate college kids. And I don't even hate college kids. But that's what the bit started at because I hated those college kids that didn't
Well, you
like
hate what they
me.
did. You didn't hate them
yeah,
in
I didn't
person,
even hate
like,
them.
yeah.
I was just like, I was so sad that I felt misrepresented. And anyways, but yeah, I've tried to even shift it into that. Or if a bit starts with like, I fucking hate the airport, I want to, one, take out the F word part, two, find a way to be like, what's funny about the airport? Instead of like being like, I don't want to say that. That sounds weird, but that's I'm trying to always shift it into a more positive thing.
More positive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Shit. Fuck.
I know. That's something about Jeffy. Like I was talking about that last night. I was talking about the feature act. He's like, Oh, Jeff works clean. It's like, yeah, he just did 10 minutes of butthole jokes.
Yeah.
It's like,
People think it's clean.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, it was 10 minutes of butthole jokes.
Yeah, but I'm taking the path of like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Who would do this? So even the old people are like, he's right.
Exactly.
That's filth. He's talking about filth. Yeah.
He's making fun of filth. It's
Yeah.
like, but it is still filth he's talking. Like,
Yeah, it's weird because people like I think Granny said or someone said it was like, yeah, he's Jeff's a clean comic. I'm like, he's what?
Right.
He's like he's a clean looking
clean
guy,
guy,
but
exactly.
I don't like he's a comic. He says whatever. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
And also, it's funny because like Josh Wolf was like, you still have some edge to you.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think.
Oh.
Is this Matt Kemp? Sorry.
I got
all
a
good.
great Josh Wolf. He gave me like some great advice one day. Like when he was in Boston one weekend.
Josh Wolf?
Yeah. And I had at that time I had Bell's palsy at the time.
Yeah, Jace had a scare with. He thought he
I
had a
thought
fucking
you still
stroke.
had it. I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's good.
Isn't cerebral palsy?
No,
That's-
Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy is like
different?
temporary paralysis of your face.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Chase woke up, thought he
Yeah.
had a fucking stroke. He's like, oh my God, I can't move my face.
Oh my
He's like, how am I
God.
going to do comedy? I can't move my fucking face.
I thought it was a different thing.
Yeah, no.
It's done.
It
took about a month and a half,
It
but-
took about
yeah.
that half.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, some people they do 2 years, a year.
Makes me happy.
But Josh is a positive guy. He was there. He's like, dude, like just don't worry, like stay with it, like you'll be fine. He smoked a joint. I was fine. You know, it's like
It's medicine.
it's like, but you guys are positive people, man. It's this business sometimes it's not a business like you look for integrity and loyalty.
Well, I
You know
also
what I mean?
think
Like-
I'm always getting annoyed with comics. I'm like, let's remind ourselves we're getting paid to literally joke around on a stage for at the most an hour. I get in trouble because I go over an hour.
comedy might
It's
awesome.
the
Stop working,
only-
man.
It's the only job where they're like, listen, you're doing too much work. It's been more than an hour. Have you ever worked a job and they're like telling you like at 50 minutes, like you'll probably call it a night soon.
Would you say comedy money is like the best money to receive?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I can't believe I'm getting away with it. I think about it all the time.
He said it on stage. It was hilarious.
It's insane to me, and I've used this analogy a bunch. But like, if tomorrow I won the lottery, and they're like, "Hey, we have $20 billion now," I would still go do my show tonight. Nothing would change about my nightly comedy stuff. Nothing. I would just still do exactly what I'm doing now. And if the other way around, look, let's say they come to me and they say, "Listen, we found out how much you're making." And never again. Comics don't make no more money. This is ridiculous. I can't believe you guys been getting paid this. From now on, comics get paid $0. I would still do it every night. I'd say, oh, $0? Yeah, I still want to go
Yeah, it's
on.
still
What
fun.
time do I
Yeah.
start? Who's going in front of me? Like, that's like,
And that's the awesome craziness about comics.
I love it.
Like we'll do it. Like and I'm sure we fucking do shows for nothing. Like
right.
a lot of
Dude,
times.
I do
spent
shows for free all the time.
Tens of thousands of dollars over
Yeah.
the last 2 years to do comedy every night for fun. Like,
It's the best. It's the best. It's so fun and so liberating. It's nice to be heard.
Yeah.
It's also like a little challenge. Like where you're like, ooh, can I get them?
Well, that's what I love about it. It's never, I mean, show to show, fucking audience to audience, joke to joke.
Yeah.
Like,
different.
you're as funny as the last bit you told, and that's it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah, every time Rainey comes back when you I call him, he's a journeyman now. You know,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, man, the show is good, the show is good, and it's good to get out there and tell jokes to people, and it's also just it's a good feeling.
Well,
You
it's
know,
also it's nice too. Like he's gotten to see how different markets can be.
Yeah,
Because
that was huge.
so the road is fascinating that way. Like sometimes you think like, oh, I'm a legend. I haven't bombed once. Like let's say you play in Pasadena and you go to the Ice House every night. You're like, dude, I haven't bombed for like 70 sets. I must be the greatest comic ever. Let me take you down to Port Charlotte and
Yes.
see if that same set does as good.
78-year-olds.
You know? Oh yeah, let's take you down to Austin, Texas, where half the room is like bleeding heart liberals and the other half are like cowboys with guns on them. You know,
Right.
like a mixed room like that. Like let's see if those jokes are gonna play.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think that's another fun thing about comedy is every night is exciting and different. And forget the audience part. Think about this. Like one night I'm in Utah. And after the show, I'm out with like Spencer King,
My
and
peoples, Utah.
all these great, really good married dudes who don't drink. They have kids, and I love them, and they love me. We could get pizza, and I talk about their family. We goof around. It's fun, and we call it a night at like 3, right? And then the next night, I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, and everyone's doing cocaine, and we're in a strip joint with the chef from the comedy club. It's like those are 2 totally different nights in the same business the next. It's insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too.
That's insane.
Jeff put it best. He's like, he's like, you come into a town for a great 3-day weekend, and then you get the fuck out.
Yeah,
It's like,
then
so every time you go to is an awesome time. You're not there for for the bad times.
Yeah,
You're just
it's
in and out,
never it's never long enough to like start
hate it,
resenting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except Vegas, because those gigs are always 7 days, so that's long
Oh,
enough
they
to
do a run?
resent Vegas. Yeah,
Yeah.
you start
Till
going.
this day, right now on what's today, Sunday, whatever, April 14th. What was your best gig that you came out was like this was awesome?
My favorite gig ever was in Arizona with Nate Bargatze and Donnell Rawlings and Frank Caliendo for a radio station, Schomburg's, like holiday whatever. And the reason the show was good is because I was a little nervous doing a round, which means the
it's like a
stage in the
3,000 seater in a
beginning.
round.
And also, like, I'm not, Frank and Nate are like a next level. They're next level kind of things. So I was just kind of feeling like, how will I measure up in this scenario? And I did good, which was a good feeling. But then also getting advice from Frank Caliendo and Nate, like, kind of changed the game for me. They were like, dude, you got to start working on this. I want to hear more about this subject. That is a Jeff Dye thing. And also they came out and watched. Like, that meant a lot to me. Like they didn't just sit in the back in the green rooms. They came out and like watched my set, and I didn't see them watch each other. I didn't see them like there was something they're like, oh, we love Jeff. We'll go watch Jeff, and that meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And it was a big show. It was good. I got like
It's Arizona, which is always a good time.
like 100 direct messages like after the show. Like, that was so fantastic. And also I got to go early, so people were excited. And they were ready, and they weren't drunk yet, and that show went real long.
Yeah.
And so to be able to go first, I'm fresh in everyone's brain, and everyone. It was one of those moments where people are like, "You were the bet," but it's like, no, I got to be the best part
I had
of
a
the
good
show,
set and then,
then
a
also
good
I had a
time.
short set, and so it's a little. By the time Nate got up there, I mean, he had to do an hour, and
after Jeff and Donnell Rawlings,
and a question and answer with the host, and then a warm up guy, and then there was a Frank Caliendo's guest drop in.
Yeah, guest drop and doing fucking voices.
And Nate crushed it because Nate is a genius and super, super funny. But Nate had the hardest position, and he's also low energy. Imagine following Donnell Rawlings.
Yeah, Donnell running around the stage like.
Trust me.
Just like and
not
Nate,
good.
Nate is like chin to chest. He's just it's all words, not even facial expressions most of the time. And so even Nate was like, "Oh, this is going to be interesting."
Yeah, I'm always impressed by the different styles of comics and how they can kill, still kill with the same type of energy, but they have different styles.
Totally different things. Yeah,
It's always amazing.
I feel like audiences are like dogs, though. They can sniff out what's real and what isn't real, if that makes sense. Sure. So like if I try to be very like up and they can kind of go, this doesn't feel.
That's not him.
This doesn't feel right. They can sniff out the reality in it.
You're
which
like
is
in the
kinda
pocket guy too. You stay in the pocket.
Yeah.
Like that's I'm like, does he? Because I know you, so I was like, he moves around a lot in like outside, like for him to be like, it's weird. You're like,
yeah, when I'm on stage, it's jokes.
yeah, that's pretty,
I always think distraction is the enemy of comedy. So I feel like if I'm moving around too much, it might distract them. Like I never try to wear a shirt that says anything. I don't try to like, any kind of like, even my sneakers at times are distracting to the audience. Like I think I need to like tone that down even.
Yeah.
But I just don't want them thinking about other stuff or doing other stuff. I don't know. I just want them listening.
just about the jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the toughest guy you ever had to follow? Or at least the stuff
Yeah, that's
that
a
you
good question. Eric Myers.
Really?
Do you know who he is?
No.
He's like a real funny, spazzy kind of guy, and the crowds love him.
Okay.
He's got this really unique voice. We always do an impression of it, like me and my friends, because if you know him, it's funny to do. But he's like, he goes on, he's like, I know I look like a Bradley Cooper on crack. There's like just kind of this really unique voice, very high energy, and he's very funny. But he has no business opening. He should be headlining.
Okay.
But he's just not at that level yet. But he's at that funny level. He doesn't draw. So they keep making him an opener. But no one wants him to open for him because it's just too hard to follow.
It crushes,
Yeah, he does 30 minutes and the crowd gets into that rhythm. And it's not that I can't follow someone that is that funny, but when you have the voice, the shouting, the whole thing.
And it's only 30 minutes, so you're just hitting them. You're
Right,
just hitting them
and
and running.
the crowd's now used to that tempo.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, if he was doing a guest set, I could follow that, but he's doing 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and so
they got him
get
in
into
that
that,
spot.
and now they're like, why is this next
Right,
guy
slow
not
it down. So,
moving
yeah.
around a lot? So I hated it. I also had trouble following Taylor Tomlinson in La Jolla.
Nice guy.
No, it's girl.
Girl.
Taylor Tomlinson.
Oh,
yeah,
she
did Don't
You're
Tell
thinking of
Comedy.
Taylor Williams.
Taylor Williams, I'm thinking. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Taylor Tomlinson, she's had like 75 TV credits like this year.
Yeah, dude, she blew up.
She got Netflix special. She had like a TV show.
Conan, like,
thing.
fucking twice,
She's done
you know?
Conan a bunch. She did the Tonight Show once. She just crushed it. And then
her
she's
manager.
opening for me. I was like, no, you headline.
Yeah.
This is, what are you doing? And of course, she came out same way. She only did 20 minutes and was just the hits.
Fire, yeah.
And she is so funny and so talented. But I was like, never again, Taylor. Like, this is disrespectful.
Who's your toughest guy, Randy? Who's your
To fucking follow?
yeah? I know you've been doing a lot.
I mean, I
but
bombed after you before.
Yeah. You know what the secret is,
I
too?
bombed after everybody. Everyone that listens to this podcast knows I bombed solid for a year. I mean, I was
I bombed
eating
me too,
them,
yeah.
you know. But I was like, fuck it, it's the only way to get better. You're like,
That's part of it.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, take
if you
that
can't
risk.
take rejection, you're in the wrong fucking business.
Want to get good at fighting? Get your ass kicked
Exactly.
for like a long time, and you'll learn to fight. You
I
fucking-
saw. I had a rude awake. The great thing is sometimes for me about comedy. Sometimes you always get like, you have like a little shakeup. You get like, you're like, hey man, this is something that could always surprise you at a show. You know, so I just had a rude awakening like last weekend. Like I saw Godfrey perform,
Oh, I love Godfrey.
and I was like, this dude did 5 different hours.
Oh yeah.
And I
He's
was
got
like,
tons of material.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? Like, within 30 seconds, like, I hosted, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then people forgot about me in 30 seconds.
Just belly laugh.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what is this?
That's
like,
actually what hurts when you think you did well. Like, oh, that was pretty good. That was great. And then
Yeah.
and the guy was laughing. It's like, oh, that's the different level of laughter. That was they were being polite. Like it's
Yeah.
like they just bring it up to another level. You know.
Well,
Like
they-
Donnell, dude, when I went before him, and then after, like, oh, I had him good, and laughed awesome. And he came out then fucking, like, the people were
Obliterated.
squealing, like, they couldn't breathe. I was like, what
That's
the fuck?
amazing.
Like,
But it's going back to Jeff was saying about, like, the audience, they get used to that certain energy.
Yeah.
And then, like, and a guy comes and just slows it down. Boom.
Yeah.
And it's like, for someone to follow that and also kill, that's very impressive.
I've seen that, dude. I've seen Todd Barry do that at Stand Up New York. Like, I forgot who went up before him. Black comic. I'm forgetting the name. Just trying to like who it was.
Probably me.
But he murdered high energy, and then Todd came up there and slowed everything down, but still murdered.
Still
What the
murder. Yeah,
fuck, dude?
Todd's a genius.
Yeah.
One thing I like to do, it's a little secret I use, because I do Comedy Magic Club. So I've had to follow Gary Shanley, and I've had to follow like
Jesus,
Daniel
dude.
Tosh. I've had to follow these like just
You
monsters.
followed Ray Romano when I was there.
Yeah, and so one thing I like to do is if they're very famous and they just obliterated, I reference it, and the crowd is on my side for referencing it. So I'll say something like, I'll be like, I'll come out and be like, ah, wow, jeez, give it up for everyone you saw, and then everyone will clap, and I'll be like, hey Jeff, want to follow Ray Romano? Sure, just like kind of like make fun of
Yeah.
that, and then they go, oh yeah, this must be
must
tough.
be
Yeah,
tough,
we've never
yeah.
heard of him.
Draft behind the guy a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, I think when I followed Daniel Tosh, because I just love him so much,
Oh,
I'm
the
like
best.
so obsessed with him, that I said, man, this is a little annoying. Oh, I did this at the Comedy Store too with Joe Rogan. I was like, this is kind of hard following people this famous. I mean, this, you guys must be thinking, it'd be like going to a concert and they're like, hey, I hope everyone enjoyed the Beatles. Now the Goo Goo Dolls. And then that kind of is enough for the crowd to be like, oh, he gets it.
Yeah.
He knows he's not famous. I don't try to pretend I'm as famous as them. I think if the crowd knows that you know that, then they're happy.
Yeah, for sure.
They-
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Those. I mean, you live in Los Angeles, and then you're performing like with like just everyone's like just having great careers right now.
Yeah. Oh
so-
my gosh, that's my favorite thing about it. Where I performed the Improv and the Factory and the Store. There's always somebody that you're like, dude, I like looked up to this person like when I first started comedy. Like I was like obsessed with this guy. I was like watching his DVDs, and now I'm just one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I remember. I don't know if I said this in the podcast, but I told you this in Arizona after that show you did with Nate and
Oh, yeah.
Donnell. All four of us were in a car getting driven to Stand Up Live to go see the end of Marlon Wayne's show and hang out with him.
Yeah.
And I look over at Jeff and I'm like, dude, I'm a fraud. I shouldn't be in this car. And Jeff goes, he's like, I'm the second least famous person in the car. Shut the fuck up.
yeah. When also we're all comedians,
He's like,
man.
what are you talking about?
It's all.
I was like, am I really in this car?
It's a fraternity. It's literally like, but it is surreal at times.
was like,
Sometimes
what?
you just
Okay.
be somewhere like it's in the green room at the Comedy Store. It's like me, Mark Normand, Dana Carvey, Tiffany Haddish, and then like Joe Rogan and Brendan Schaub. I'm just sitting there going, What a room.
Is this really my life?
Insane. This whole room, it was like the New York Yankees. It's like there's just but that's the beauty of comedy. It's like a big club.
It's like a revitalized comedy, new comedy era.
Boom, dude.
Yeah,
It's like
I
the
love it.
70s, like
It's the
80s
best.
before, like like everyone's
Without the cocaine,
well, speak for yourself.
tons of money.
Yeah, there's a lot of sober comics now. That's one thing that doesn't seem to be a thing anymore.
no, I don't
Like
know.
the comic rock star life doesn't seem. All these guys have kids and fucking.
I don't know why though. Why did that change?
Well, people grow up and they like just like
No, but
they have
the
kids
whole
and stuff,
scene, like there's
But
no.
now even young people are like Taylor Tomlinson will not hang out after a show. Kelsey Cook will not. They go home. They don't drink. They don't hang out. They don't
Yeah.
try to sleep with anyone. They just go. They do their little set and then they go back to their hotel room and they're just normal. It's weird. They treat comedy like school or something. Like it's not like
a job, like a job, right?
Yeah, and I just think
Like
of
a
it
regular
like,
job.
don't you want to have some fun?
That's interesting.
What's the point of trying to be show business?
Yeah,
if you're not
me
gonna have a
and
little fun with
JC
it.
Carrias at this the Norfolk Comedy Festival. It's
Very
where
funny
Johnny
dude. I remember
Carson's
your
from.
process.
JC's my favorite, one of my favorite humans. We are. It's like super hot. It's like 100 degrees out, and JC's a fat guy. I mean, like he eats 100 degrees. It's
Yeah.
like 200 degrees for JC, and we're out mini golfing in front of the hotel with Coronas in our hand, and we're just like hungover, but we're also drinking Corona and just like mini golfing. And then we invited Taylor Tomlinson. Like that's a pretty harmless thing. Mini golf. She didn't want to do it. She's like, nah, hang out in my room.
That's Jeff's biggest pet peeve on the road, man. That's the only thing. That's the only
What?
time. That's the only time he gets agitated.
Bothers me.
It's like when the other comics want to hang out. He's like, what the fuck?
Just hang.
That's right. I remember he was telling me a story about how he told Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth once years ago. He was in
Yeah,
Seattle.
we're in the Parlor green room, which Parlor's closing. I didn't know.
What?
It's closed.
What?
I just found out last night.
Are you kidding me?
Someone said, "Do you want this poster?" And it was of me at the Parlor, and I was like,
Paula Bellevue is closing?
"It's closed. This was the last weekend officially."
What the
Out of nowhere? What the fuck?
Nobody told me, and I didn't know.
That's
and
like
then
a club.
everyone acted like
That
you
club
didn't hear.
packs out. What the fuck's going on?
I don't know.
He
I'm
must
gonna
owe
have to
money
find a
somewhere. That's sad.
new spot in town. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna look into it today. But anyways, JC, so Big Irish Jay is in the green room, and I love Big Irish Jay. I mean, he's I really, really, really love and respect him and like him. But he's in the green room. I'm excited to see him. And I only come back to Seattle a few times a year, and I was excited to see him, and I was excited to have the weekend with him. And he's on his laptop in the green room with headphones in, just watching Breaking Bad. And I was like, "Hey, man, put that shit away."
Right.
You know? And he's like, "Huh? No, I'm so obsessed with the show, dude." And he's just like watching it.
You're the
And all
headline.
I'm the headline. All this other comics are goofing around, and I was, "Oh, Jeff's in town," blah blah. And then by the second show, or maybe even the second night, I just had enough. I was like, "Listen, man, if you don't want to work this weekend, you don't want to be here, I'll get someone else." And he's like, "What?" Like he could. I was like willing to fire him over him not hanging out. I need you to play with me. You know, like let's have fun. I don't want you buried in a laptop.
Right.
And in his mind, he's like, "Wait, what do you mean? I'll get someone else?" "No, I want to be here." I was like, "Well, it doesn't look like you want to be here.
Right. Doesn't
Looks like you want to watch Breaking Bad. That's what it looks like." So yeah, that's the only time I get agitated is like when people aren't like if they don't want to join in the reindeer games, you know. Like, I want Taylor Thomas to come out with us. She doesn't have to drink.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
come
just
play.
fucking- spend
come
some time.
chat. Get to hang out.
Yeah.
She didn't want to, and it bothered me.
You know, someone in Boston, it's like to a comic said that about Dane. He was like that too. He wasn't like a type of guy that would like
yeah,
hang
Dane's
out.
an
He had
introvert.
Jeff Adam on the podcast recently. It was really, and he kind of explained it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
which it made him look like a dick because he would just go,
Yeah.
perform, and then leave, and then all the other comics are like, "Why is he not doing drugs and drinking with us and hanging out?" And
Turns out he has social anxiety.
They took it personal, and then he's just like, "That just."
Well, they took it extra personal because he was killing and murdering
Right.
and leaving.
Yeah.
It's like it wasn't like he was bombing.
super
like,
easy to turn on him. Yeah,
They
He was
assume you're
murdering.
arrogant right away just because you don't talk to them. It's like
Right.
they assume the worst if you give people room to do it. You know?
I wonder if I would have been like that though, because I'm, we were talking about how I'm like that.
You are.
So if like I was in Boston and then I saw Dane just demolish and then not want to hang out with me, I'd be like, "Hey,
Does he hate me?
yeah, what's going on here?"
Yeah. I remember the first person that said that to me the first comedian that I ever saw live was Gary Goldman. Live. Like,
Okay.
when I went to Comedy Show, I'm like, this is comedy? This guy's talking? Like Gary Goldman. But then the second comedian that I actually went up and approached was like, "Hey, man, I like your stuff. I'm a big fan." The first thing he said to me was like, it wasn't like, "Hey, man, thank you, appreciate it," you know? He's like, I told him, I was like, "I'm a comic, I just started." I thought he'd be like, "Hey, keep going." He was like, don't steal my shit.
Wait, who was that? Gary Goldman said that?
Nah, Godfrey.
Oh, it was Godfrey.
That's cool, man. Don't take my
first year I
shit.
That's hilarious.
He's like, don't steal my shit. I'm like, oh man, I don't know what stealing means. I haven't done an open mic yet.
so
But he was
much,
so
man.
honest in that vein. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is like, oh, okay. And then then I got to know him. But yeah.
That's hilarious.
I was like, this is how comedians are. I thought they were fucking fun loving people.
Yeah,
Like, what's
that's
going on?
so funny to me. Godfrey's one of the nicest dudes.
He is.
Talk about a guy who has no like.
You're nice, man.
What's the term? No. There's no judgments in Godfrey.
Yeah.
It seems like on stage, like, oh, this guy would be like highly opinionated, but it's like in his social life, he just seems so friendly and like so nice, and like he doesn't care what color or shape or culture or religion. Like he just is such an open, friendly
Yeah,
guy.
and
That
he's
way.
super inquisitive like that. He likes to like learn shit. Like he'll go on he'll like tour a college into town just to like talk to a famous professor and shit. Like
It's crazy.
You know, like whereas you and I fucking playing wiffle ball or basketball in the goddamn
Yeah.
yard, he's like, he's going to museums and shit in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another home
Jack.
run.
Got him.
Rocket City.
But
over
we're
in
here
Mexico.
in Albany, New York. How the show's been going for you guys?
I love it here.
Yeah, great.
Tonight we have a wrestler coming, Justin Credible from ECW. He's going to come to the show. He said he was going to come Friday. He said he was going to come Saturday. So there's a chance he's not going to make it on Sunday. But that's the beauty of wrestlers, man. They like to party.
Can I tell you a wrestler story real quick?
Yeah, I'd love
Because
it.
I'm huge into wrestling.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
my-
know Justin Credible? Do you know who that is?
No, I do not.
Came
I'm-
to WWE. CM Punk's first match was against Justin Credible.
I wasn't an ECW guy, to be honest.
Okay.
I was definitely old school WWF. But my favorite WWE player or wrestler was Macho Man.
Of
course.
The best.
You know what I mean? But
Randy Pavo.
But I was working at this hotel. My former employee,
Former employer.
employer, and then Big Cash.
Big Cass?
Big Cass. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Big Cash. Big Cass came in, and like I had met
Big
him.
Trump guy, Big Cass. Do you know that?
I did not know that.
Loves Trump.
I didn't know that.
but-
Didn't know that.
I don't know why I said that, but it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. But I met him like a year before at at the comedy club, like at Laugh, and it was him, and he was teaming up with that other guy, his partner.
Enzo Amore.
Yeah, Enzo Amore. And Ric Flair was at the bar drinking with Dean Ambrose, right?
Oh, really?
And I'm like, in the comics, like, dude, that's
Ric Flair.
fucking Ric Flair right there, dude.
Yeah.
Like, because they was doing something at like Monday Night Raw or something, and then they had a
And
fly.
they all came into the same place.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy. And Ric Flair's taking him back, man.
Of course, he's
taking him back, Jeff.
He's done more alcohol than wrestling. He should be in the drinking Hall of Fame.
he was taking it back,
That's
man.
amazing.
And he got us shots and shit. He was cool, but I didn't want to talk to him because he's kind of intimidating a little bit. Like,
Seems unapproachable. Yeah.
he just was. Well, he was talking with Dean Ambrose. It looked like they were talking about business and stuff. I
Yeah.
don't
Dean
want-
Ambrose.
Ambrose, yeah. Well, I say Ambrose. Anyways, long story boring. It's a Brent Ernst thing, which I always take because that's
Long
so
story
funny.
boring.
Long story boring. So then Big Cass comes in. The next year he sees me at the hotel. I'm like, hey, Cass, like, I know you, man. Remember I'm the comedian? He's like, oh, yeah, da-da-da. And he was dating that girl.
At the time, he was probably with Carmella.
Carmella.
Yeah.
Carmella was like there. And I was like, oh, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He's a big guy. Like, he's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I'm like, dude, I love you, man. He's like, yeah, we're in town. We're doing Raw at, like, the Garden. Like,
Oh,
whatever.
that's amazing.
And I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, man. It's like, yeah, I can't go, man. Anybody, I can't afford it. Whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, next morning, leaves a note at the front desk, tickets to the fucking Monday Night
Oh,
Raw.
that's
Well,
great.
nice
And you
guy.
went?
Huh?
And you went?
Yeah, I went.
Yeah, how were the seats?
It was great.
Oh, really?
It was great.
That's
It was great. It
awesome.
was great. And then
How close were you? Like, just out of
the
curiosity.
Garden, there was like lodge. What they're considered lodge and like the
Loge.
TD Bank Loge.
Yeah, so right off the second level off the floor.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and I called him back to say thank you, but he just didn't pick up because he called me for a different number. But it was just nice of him.
Yeah, that's super sweet.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, and then I found out he wasn't in WWE. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, there was like an injury, and then like allegedly some like backstage stuff with him or something. I don't know what the story is, but they came back. Enzo Amore and him came back and got into a fist fight at WrestleMania, like a real one.
Wow.
Yeah, I think.
real one?
Yeah, they weren't supposed to be there, and they just like showed up and like started a fist fight with some people. The real security came out, and it was like a whole thing. But it wasn't televised. It's just I saw it on people's smartphones.
Like a house.
Yeah, they literally
the
show was
Show?
televised.
Oh, the show was
It was
televised.
WrestleMania, but they didn't show it because it wasn't part of the show.
Okay.
So when that happened, when the fight breaks out, all the people are recording on their smartphones and putting it on the internet. So that's how I saw it. But yeah, they're
I would like a Jeff Dye and Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast.
I would love that.
Yeah,
Those guys are
just-
so funny. I talked to Stone Cold for a long time, and it was so funny how like all my opinions and his opinions when it comes to wrestling are like so different. It's funny. He was like, so someone asked him, my buddy Sean goes, "Who's the best person to take the stunner? You know, who took the stunner the best?" And then he goes, "Well, young man, what do you think?" And I was like, "I think that the person that took it the best was Vince, and the person who took it the worst
I'd agree.
was The Rock, because when The Rock took it, he really like bounced up, and it was very cartoon-like. And when Vince took it, it looked like you really just broke his neck, you know. And that's what And he goes, "I say the complete opposite. He loved when The Rock would do that and like sell it and like go like whatever.
over
He
the top.
thought it was is the best, and he hated when Vince took the stunner because Vince really put all of his weight, and when you're just coming down on that posture of like landing on your butt and a whole grown man's weight on it like could hurt your back and stuff like that. So it's funny, we had the opposite opinion on both. But
Is he a good dude? I seem like a good guy. I listened to his
the
podcast
best.
a bit.
He's pretty positive too.
Yeah.
He's like a very positive guy. Yeah, he was like, "I don't know what people complain about their bodies. I feel fine. I wrestled that whole time. I feel fine. I know what they're complaining about. It's fine."
How old is he now? He's in his 50s, right? I mean, he seemed pretty old when he was in the like something about him like he seemed older.
Seemed like a dad, yeah.
Yeah, like he was like a you know. Like
My
his
buddy
40s.
Aaron used to have a great thing where he'd say Stone Cold Steve Austin is everything I loved about Stone Cold Steve Austin is the same things I hated about my stepdad. He was like, I would hate my stepdad was like this foul-mouthed, just drunk idiot who would drink Coors Light and talk trash and was mean. And then I'd leave and I'd go in the other room and watch Stone Cold and think he's so cool for doing all the same things.
When I look at Stone Cold, I'm just like, this is America.
Oh,
Like,
it's the stereotype of America for sure.
Well, I like it.
Yeah.
I like that stereotype.
Yeah, because America's not like that. But I mean, Walmart is.
Oh, dude.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is Walmart.
Wait till you see the
He's
new
not
Walmart.
American.
Wait till you see Jeff's new Walmart stuff tonight. Oh,
yeah.
it's so good.
Well, I just look at him tough, honest, whatever. I like, that shit. Maybe I don't know. I like mystery and nuance.
He's the best. Stone Cold's one of my favorites. But he also there's a funny thing on his podcast where he was like ranting about like gun safety. It was just so funny. Yeah, well, it's like because he's like there's ruining it for everyone. Yeah, you get us gun safe. That's what you get. God damn it, you don't deserve a gun if you're gonna be. And he's just like going on this weird rant. It's very pro guns, but it's also like pro responsibility with guns, and it's like, just such a funny thing. And he'll lose his mind. He like just starts shouting.
I love that. I love watching people.
best.
I mean, we talked about that. Watching people melt down. It's so good.
It's hilarious. Those are the best moments.
That's the funny thing about gun owners. The gun owners I know, like they're very like serious about being responsible with it. Like,
Yeah,
it's always
they
some
mean-
drug-
should be.
That's what I'm saying. It's a fucking weapon that kills someone. But I'm saying, but like a lot of I feel like they get a bad rap. Like gun owners get a bad rap because everyone thinks they're like violent, like trigger happy. It's like most of them don't ever fuck around like that. They lock them up. They're not toys. Like people like responsible gun owners. No, most gun owners are responsible. So it's like always some asshole stole a gun and shoots up a school. Someone,
When also I just think about it, like there's so many different communities with guns. Like the black community loves guns.
Yeah.
The redneck community loves guns. The hunters love guns.
yeah.
Cops are all about guns. You know, like and then
they
it goes,
became a
like-
cop to get a gun.
Right.
Like, most of them.
It's America has guns in almost every faction of its history.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. Like for some reason they get I guess they all get the bad rap.
Yeah, well, you were saying it the other day to me. Like it's like if they just market it as they're fun and we
Right.
enjoy them instead of
Stop making it sound
they're
like
gonna
it's a
take 'em away.
constitutional
Yeah.
right or something. Just go, guns are fun. That'd be the NRA's take.
they're
Like,
legal 'cause
you're
they're
gonna
fun.
love them. If you haven't tried one, you try one. You'll love a gun. Guns are fun. That's what they should say.
Well, it's wow. Yeah.
Because what are people gonna argue? They're gonna go, yeah, this probably is fun.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like fucking
well-
weed. It's like that's why it's fun.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. There's never been a commercial for cocaine. They've never needed marketing. You've never seen a billboard.
That's true.
not a single
Yeah, and
shred
yet
of marketing.
doing good.
That's true.
Still thriving. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Starbucks has all these. You see it everywhere.
I know.
McDonald's, you
Fucking-
see the commercials. But if the thing is
drugs
good,
never won.
if
Never won
things good
advertising.
enough, people find out about it.
That is a topic for that topic is like never ending. You'll never like win that battle like with guns.
Oh yeah,
You know?
they're gonna go back and forth that.
That's why they should just say it's fun because there's no argument for that.
Yeah, it's like people enjoy it. Why? And people are
You just go,
adults.
oh, they're
like,
super fun.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, damn it, I can't tell him it's not fun. He thinks it's fun.
well, yeah.
But if you say it's this is my right to bear arms. You're like, yeah, but we've amended amendments a million times.
Yeah, that's what they call them.
Changed lots of things.
Right.
Also, you're never gonna beat the government. They'll kill you. Like it's not like you're gonna ever. Like they're always gonna beat
They're
you.
always gonna have Scud missiles and you won't.
Yeah.
So
Until
forget
you
it.
get 27 tanks and you're never gonna beat the government because you have some guns in your house.
Yeah, like you said, ask the Waco guys how that worked
Yeah, it
out.
was a Waco boys. It took one tank.
You got like a lot of people you can reach out to for like things like you got a guy for like let's say baseball or
Yeah,
sneakers
got
or whatever.
people for all that.
Yeah. Do you have a tank guy?
I don't have a tank guy. No, I don't even have a gun guy.
I figured.
I tried to buy a gun at Walmart.
Oh my god, it's so funny. I tried to buy a gun at Walmart.
Oh wait, no, it was Fred Meyers in Alaska, but I'm gonna add it to the Walmart bid.
Yeah.
So it'll be dishonest, but I'm gonna say it happened at Walmart. But we were in Alaska. Me, Chris Porter, Arden Marine, Bill Dwyer. It was late. We were drinking, some smoking, and I just was like, I'm gonna get a gun, and I like walked over to like the gun department, and the guy sees me coming. I have all this food in my hands. We're just giggling. Chris Porter's got a bunch of food. We have all this crap. Arden, we're all just laughing, and the guy sees me and he goes, "Nope. Turn around." I didn't even get within 4 feet of the gun counter, and the guy's like, "Not having it. Already declined your application to get," because they just sell guns over the counter there if you want.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's they're like, "Sure, you're old enough. You
See,
have the money."
there's a fucking place that I think you like need a gun because Alaska's trying to kill you the moment you go outside.
Absolutely.
It's wild animals and freezing cold weather. It's
the
fucking
whole
insane.
state is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I remember looking at a Fred Meyer from across from our hotel. It's like a blizzard, just like it's crazy snow, and we're all just looking at it like, "You think we can make it?" It's not that far. It was like 100 yards, but we're like, I don't know if we're gonna get there.
It's iffy.
That's crazy out there.
Pack some supplies.
I don't know why anyone chooses to live there.
Do you know anyone that lives there that you can? Do you have any friends that live there?
I know a bunch of people now because I've done so much comedy out there.
That's crazy.
But the comedy shows, like the first comedy show we did, like it was I don't know what the bar was called.
Landing Strip? No,
something lodge. It's not
Alaska
the
Bush
Blue
Company?
Loon. It's some like lodge that like. It took us probably 2.5 hours to drive out there. We didn't see a single car in sight. And I was doing all this material about drinking and driving, and like nobody was like laughing. And I recall I was like, I bet you all drank tonight and then drove here. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah. Who the fuck are they gonna hit on the road?
Yeah, it's like just snow.
Yeah, you might hit a moose.
Yeah, we see no one else. Like it's like, well, yeah, we all have alcohol like in our trucks right now. Like it's not like it. And I was like, that's so funny. Like the worst case scenario, you just like drive off into some other snow and then you just get back on the road.
See, that's how Wyoming is, man. I left a bar in Wyoming. And like, do you want that to go? I'm like, excuse me? I had like a beer in my hand. Like, oh yeah, you just pour that in the to-go cup, take it with you.
Yeah.
You just drink it
Those
in
the
the
best.
car. Yeah, it's fine. It's like, what?
But also, you can just do anything you want because you live in Alaska.
Yeah,
You could murder someone.
Yeah, who's gonna come get you?
No, nothing's gonna happen.
I saw Misery.
It's insane.
I know that show. Like
That should be on the sign. Welcome to Alaska. Did you kill someone? Need to lay low for a while? Like that, I mean, like it's the craziest place I've ever been.
Oh, yeah?
We went to this one bar. We just walked in. It was me, Arden Marine, the same people, and it was just all like Native Americans, and they all just turned like, "What?
The fuck is this?
Who are these people?" Gotta sneeze.
Yeah. They probably called you white noise has entered the building.
Oh, they loved us too because they just kept coming up to us and asking us to buy them drinks. We were like, sure.
The out of towners.
Yeah, and one of the guys, he found out we're comedians, and so he told us, he goes, "You want to hear a joke?" And we're like, "Yeah, hell yes, absolutely. I don't know what you're gonna say, but yes." And he goes, "I heard Donald Trump is having a seminar at the hotel down the street." Obviously, false premise, right? Like, he goes, "I heard it's gonna be a real hands-on speech."
So bad.
So bad, so stupid, and
Love
he
it.
chose Arden Marine to touch. So his joke about Donald Trump being like a sexual, like grabbing girls, was his excuse to grab a girl. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
We cried with laughter. It was our favorite thing.
That's
Arden didn't like it as much.
She was not a fan.
Yeah, no, she was laughing about it. We talk about it all the time, but she had to put up with that.
so LA's home, huh?
Yeah.
LA's home.
LA's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that doesn't like LA, you're just doing it wrong.
You said that before.
Yeah,
You said
it's like LA's the best. I don't know how you could not like it.
Yeah, you said that before.
I mean, occasionally, like I think it's just you're taught to hate it. People say, "Oh, that's where fake people live," and that's what. But
I think it's a people thing, and you helped convince me of this. You're like, it's like, because I didn't. Like, there is that. There is a vibe out there. Some people enjoy it, some people don't. But Jeff's like, he's like, well, I'll choose my friends. You like me, you like my friends. Like, fucking,
Yeah.
There's assholes everywhere, Randy. Like,
you make your
assholes and
circle.
bosses, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. As long as we're your friends, you're fine. Like,
Yeah, well, that's that natural, like, optimistic attitude that Jeff has.
well, if
dude,
we're
you
having
know.
fun in Albany, we can definitely have fun in like a big city. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you're having a rocking good time in this little place.
yeah. And I think that's great. Is like you just find the good parts and the bad. Every city has good parts and bad parts. Good people, bad people. I just don't like when people are like, oh, people in LA are fake. You're like, vanity's not exclusive to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You can go and find some really smug people who aren't even famous or aren't even like in,
Yeah.
arrogant people at Walmart. There's arrogant people in the mall. It's not. I don't know.
So
That's
there's
how
no
I think.
exclusive to it.
I don't know. Well, that's looking to LA's every time I go there, I'm like, oh, as soon as I fucking touch down on that like LAX and I see a palm tree, I'm so happy.
Oh, it makes that's
Chase
weird.
Chase loves LA so
Great.
much.
Yeah, you guys should move there, man. It's the best.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Dude, we're already an hour 20 in. We should wrap this up.
Yeah, for sure.
Do
For
it.
sure.
Showtime.
Dude, thank you so much for doing
Thanks
this.
for having me.
Most
Love you
importantly, dude, thank you so much for having me come out on the road, man.
Of course. It's my pleasure.
I learned so much. Not only am I learning a lot about comedy,
Yeah,
just
get it
watching.
out.
Because he's
Get it
15 years in, so I learned something watching him every night. Even though I've seen your material dozens
Yeah.
of times. But also, like Chase was saying, just your positive energy, because it's a fucking tough business, and of course you can get down on yourself.
Yeah.
But it's like when I'm bummed out on a Wednesday, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm get to leave tomorrow, go hang out with my buddy,
Yeah.
and tell jokes. I don't give a shit. Like everything.
Well, I feel the exact
you know?
same way, man. It's super fun.
So I appreciate it a lot, man. Thanks a lot.
And
Thank
it's
you.
on time. It's like weird how like life works, where it's like the first time I saw you were performing, then I was like, oh, let's go see a fucking fight.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
You brought him to my house.
Yeah.
I brought in your house, and then it's like we saw a fucking baby like came out of the room,
Well, you know what's interesting about that? It's kind of like what we're talking about right there.
and now we're here. You know?
If you don't like, so let's take Taylor Thompson as an example. Like she would have never said, "Oh, I want to see this fight. I'm gonna go with a guy I just made friends with that weekend to a stranger's home." Well, now let's say I did the exact same thing, and I just went back to my hotel room. I didn't kick it with you. We wouldn't have moved our friendship forward. I would have never met you.
Yeah.
I would have never gone to that thing. So you're kind of robbing yourselves of these great opportunities and great friendships and great lives by not going and just doing these things. So there's an old dumb movie with Jim Carrey called Yes Man, where his premise
remember
is
that
just
one.
to say yes to everything, and how it changed his life. I kind of feel like that. Just say yeah, even if it's an uncomfortable thing. Like, let's just see what happens. Worst case scenario, you take an Uber home.
Yeah, you don't like it, you leave.
Yeah, you say, oh, this wasn't for me. I made a mistake. I'm going to Uber home. That's all it has to be.
Yeah.
But maybe a little life lesson.
Yeah, that's what I said when I first went to my strip club, and I still go. So
There you go. Just
Chase is a
say
big fan of
yes.
the strip club.
you're the man, bro.
We might do it tonight.
Yeah. Thanks so much,
Strip
buddy. Love
club
you,
it up
kid.
with Just Incredible.
That's right. All right, that's it for this episode, guys. We love you. We'll be back maybe later this week, probably do the second one.
Yeah, guys. Follow us at Ready Set Bull Podcast
At Randy Valerio.
at Chase Sable.
All right, guys. And of course, follow Jeff Dye if you
Yeah,
don't already.
JEFFDYE.
All right, guys. We love you. We'll talk to you next episode. Peace.
Peace.
Raise a Bro Podcast, you fucking bitch.